This beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby. Run that shit up, Trey.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer Ford. Took a Zoc, watch the dark. Matter of fact, lock the door. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harbor Free. Try to hold me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking note. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I'm making hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count, and what you speaking to me for? Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. Can't do with them steppers, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's
no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback to bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through it. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Buck roll.
But I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury, I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, they got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Taha Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the just making an op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. The king, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the squab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the squab in my whole life. My whole life.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Yabashima Shabrakadam, Yahweh Shemala done by Shem Yahweh Shai. Listen, we about to come up. We coming up on the Lord's 54th annual Passover, man. It's a whole week of activities, man. We gonna be getting it in. You better come on through, be there, or be square. Look, Wednesday, we got the lamb slaughter with Captain Akkad, man, doing it up from 1:30 to 5:30 that Wednesday. We having it at Custom Meats, man. 1921 Strickland Road. That's down in Clayton, North Carolina. And then we got the King's Bowling, man. 9 p.m. until, you understand, 9 p.m. until. And then at 10 p.m. we also concurrently got the Paint the Town Red going on. That's down at Club with the club promotion with Party Boy, man. They're going to be getting it in. And also from 10 to 2, we got at the Botanical Lounge, 419 Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. We got the Botanical Lounge. Man, we're going to get it in Thursday from 10 to 2 p.m. We got the Black Wall Street Tour. That's down in Durham, man, at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then, also from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., we're going to be rolling to the Stagville Slave Plantation, man. Commander General Yohana going to be speaking at both of them, man. He's going to be speaking in both. Then at 7 p.m. to midnight, we got the all-black party, boy, down in Durham at the Durham Armory, 212 Foster Street. Listen, that's $25 per person. But if you pay your $200 Passover fee in full, before that, you get in the black party free. We having a jam. We jammed it out last year with Hebrew Academy. We're going to make it bigger this year. The black party coming up. Look, remember, free if you pay your Passover fee. Friday, 10 in the morning to 2 p.m., we having a kids party at Adventure Landing, man. They're going to be getting it in with the children. That's in Raleigh. $30 per child, man. We're going to be getting it in with the children. I might be there, man. I love the children. Hell, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. We got class, of course, with General Hyman. Y'all know how that go. Come on now. He going to be dropping the scripture breakdown class at 10 p.m. to midnight. We rolling over to the live jazz band called Reggie Bowie Project, man. The Reggie Bowie Project going to be getting it in, doing live jazz. That's at the Sheraton Ballroom. The Sheraton Ballroom is one of the hotels we got reserved, the main hotel. 421 South Salisbury, man, Street. That's in Raleigh, too. Saturday, that's the big day. Come on now. 5 p.m., the Lord's 54th annual Passover. $200 per person, man. Come on, bring it in. That lamb, the bread, the wine, the strong drink, the brotherhood, the sisterhood. It's a family reunion, y'all. Y'all better come through. Y'all better come through, man. And then Sunday, y'all can chill all day after the Passover, but at 7 p.m., we having a feast of unleavened bread, man. Unleavened bread, where we're going to eat more of that unleavened bread. We're going to eat more lamb that's left over, and we're going to drink, and we're going to still party, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, 7 p.m. until we go home when you're ready to go home. We're going to do it up. Just be safe, be professional. You know how we do it, One West. Listen, nobody does it like One West ISUPK. Y'all know that. and nobody can mess with Commander General Yohana or the ISUPK except those who mess with Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK. Shalom. Shalom. Come through.
Why they
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shemi Awashab Baraka. Damn, let me see who's that. Yahweh Shemi Awashab Baraka Thumb, Yahweh Shema Thumb by Shemi Awashab. Priest and Officer, I'm a Wanga Bar, ISUPK under Commander Hana. You feel me? Tuesday, Brotherhood class. And what we do, we teach Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians who they are according to the Bible, who their enemies are. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about how you keep seeking brotherhood from a nation that's not your brother. You know, because the Christian church have confused you with the word neighbor. You hear me? You think neighbor is the person that's living next door to you, when neighbor in the Old Testament, when it was first brought up, was talking about brother. You hear me? It's the same thing. It's the exact same word. You hear me? Neighbor and brother is the same thing, man. It's not talking about the person you live next door to, the Chinese dude that stay down the street, the white dude around the corner. That's not what it's talking about. You would think integration for that. Feel me? The biggest failed, thing that ever happened to the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians was integration. Because now you think your neighbor is anybody that you live next door to. Feel me? But if I could, let's go to the first article. Let's go to the one about the white supremacists. Make sure I share it this time. Last time, I don't think I shared nothing. I know they thought they was just talking shit. I ain't remember all that. I don't see nothing on the screen. Go ahead, whenever you got it.
White supremacists behind over 80% of extremism-related U.S. murders in 2022.
Right, you feel me? And this the people who you seeking brotherhood from. You feel me? The Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan said his famous speech. He said, "We're not gonna be wearing hoods no more. Then we're gonna be in your police force, teachers in your classroom. You feel me? The judges, and then you wonder why so many black people going to jail, so many black people getting killed by cops, because the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan told you what they was gonna be doing. They not gonna keep being in hoods and hanging you from trees. They gonna do it in ways where they can get away with it. You feel me? That's exactly what they did. You feel me? And white supremacists is behind over 80% of extreme-related U.S. murders in 2022. Not Black Hebrew Israelites, not the ISUPK, not the Muslim, not the Nation of Islam. It's white supremacists. You feel me? You cannot expect brotherhood from them. These is monsters, man. 80% of the extremism related U.S. murders. White supremacy kills. That's true. Black supremacy, we just gonna march. Black people, we ain't gonna hurt nobody. We gonna march. We're gonna riot. White supremacy, they gonna kill. That's real hate. Go ahead.
A woman holds a sign during a rally against guns and white supremacy in the wake of mass shootings in Dayton and El Paso in front of the White House in Washington, August 6, 2019.
Mm-hmm. El Paso, that's the one where the white dude went in Walmart, killed all them people. And Dayton, I think it was a club. A white dude went in a club and just shot up a whole bunch of people on a club strip. It wasn't inside, it was on the strip.
Mass shootings in the United States accounted for most extremism-related fatalities last year.
Mm-hmm.
In the country, with over 80% of those murders committed by white supremacists, data released by the Anti-Defamation League showed on Thursday.
80% of the murders committed by white supremacists. But the other 20% was the Arabs. I just know it wasn't no black people. Because they'll put their face all over the news.
The advocacy group labeled 25 murders in 2022 as extremist related, with 18 of those committed in whole or in part for ideological motives.
And that's hate. And these are the people you trying to join to. Trying to join to white supremacy. These people is not your friend. You feel me? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, your friends are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. This who you trying to be friends with.
2 mass shootings, one in May in Buffalo, where an avowed white supremacist fatally shot 10 black people, and another in November in Colorado Springs, where 5 people were killed in the LGBTQ nightclub. Accounted for most of the extremist-related murders of 2022, your report showed.
2 white people did that. That's who you want to go be friends with. Tell you, they demonize the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community with them gangs. But gangs don't do stuff like that. Feel me?
White supremacists committed the highest number of domestic extremist-related murders in most years. But in 2022, the percentage was unusually high. 21 of the 25 murders were linked to white supremacists, according to ADO report. All the extremist-related murders in 2022 were committed by right-wing extremists of various kinds, the ADO report said.
But that what you got to understand about the right and the left wingers is still on the same bird. It's on the same bird, same agenda. One of them is just not hiding it, and the other one's trying to hide it. It's the only difference.
ADL Center on Extremism reported an overall decrease from 2021 when 33 extremist-related killings were documented. ADL had documented 22 extremist-related killings in 2020.
You can skip that part. You just go down to the human rights group.
Human rights groups have raised concerns over white supremacy in the United States over recent years. President Joe Biden has labeled white supremacy as a poison and called Americans to reject it.
Right, because white supremacy, they gonna kill people. Black supremacy is we gonna just speak the truth. You feel me? They gotta differentiate between what's really a hate group. Feel me? Because they know they're gonna be the poster child of it.
In December, he established an interagency group to coordinate efforts to counter anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and related forms of bias and discrimination.
Islamophobia. I ain't never even heard that word before. I guess that's the hate of Arabs or Muslims. Hate Muslims, hate Jews, hate black people.
The issue of white supremacy came back into headlines last year when former President Donald Trump hosted white supremacist Nick Fuentes at his private club in Florida.
The president did that. Hosted a white supremacist at his private club. And these the people you want to join with. That's why I say you seeking brotherhood from a people that's not your brother. They got their own agenda, man. They got their own agenda.
Trump said that the encounter with Fuentes happened inadvertently.
Trump think he's slick.
While he was having
How you accidentally host a white supremacist, man? Ain't nobody falling for that shit. You go ahead to the next article. Since invasion, you feel me? Because we got to talk about these Ukrainians because the Mexicans on the border was not accepted. Black people is not accepted. The Native Indians is on reservations living like a third world country in the richest country on earth. But the Ukrainians was accepted.
ABC News, since invasion, more than 250,000 Ukrainians have relocated to U.S.
250,000.
Since the start of Russia's invasion a year ago,
the Haitians weren't accepted. They was under a bridge. You getting a pattern here? The Haitians not accepted. Black people built this country, not accepted. The Mexicans built this country, not accepted. The Native Indians was murdered. They stole the country from them, and they still ain't accepted. But they accept the Ukrainians. That's because you keep seeking brotherhood from a nation that's not your brother. You go ahead.
Salakia, sir, if I may, didn't it come out that the Ukrainians is full of Nazis?
Right.
Wouldn't that be an extremist hate group
Yes,
also that they let in the country?
Yes, they let a whole hate group in. That's so true. That's so true. They just let 250,000 white supremacists into their country. So look up for the uprising. Feel me? Extremist killings. Might well just look for it.
More than 250,000 Ukrainians have relocated to the U.S. as a result of the biggest refugee crisis in Europe since World War II.
Mm.
Yeah. Some 115,000 Ukrainians have arrived in the United States since a historic effort began in the early days of the war to assist with the displaced population, according to the Department of Homeland Security.
Mm-hmm. These they brothers, though. That's why they did it. It's their brothers, their family. And they know it. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you not their brother. That's why the Mexicans are sleeping in cages on the border. They stole this country from them. They was exiled and not accepted back. Ukrainians ain't did nothing for this country, but they accepted.
The Department's United for Ukraine initiative, which grants temporary parole status to Ukrainians, is in addition to more than 156,000 Ukrainians who have been processed into the U.S. through other means, including with visas and refugee admissions.
They got visas and everything. So hard to get a visa. They gave them visas quick. It's hard as hell to get a visa to come over here.
Over the past year, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services have received more than 215,000 requests to sponsor Ukrainian citizens and family members required component of the parole program.
Right, so they getting requests to sponsor the Ukrainian citizens from people that who you think them people is? People in America, but they don't want to sponsor you. You living like you in a third world country. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we living like we're in a third world country, but there's 215,000 requests to sponsor the Ukrainian citizens and family members.
So far, nearly 150,000 Ukrainians have been vetted and approved for travel in the U.S. under United for Ukraine.
Not uniting for the black people, the Native Indians, the Mexicans, uniting for Ukraine. So I think, man, these people don't love you, man. Feel me? They'll respect you, though. But you love them so much, they won't respect you because you love them so much.
DHS continues to honor the president's commitment to Ukrainians fleeing Russia's unprovoked war. DHS spokesperson Angelo Hernandez said in a statement to ABC News, DHS remains committed to supporting Ukrainians in the United States, and we continue to explore opportunities to provide avenues for humanitarian relief and protection for Ukrainians fleeing Russia's unprovoked war. The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, has counted more than 8 million Ukrainian refugees across Europe, largely in Poland and Germany.
8 million Ukrainian refugees left Ukraine. So who is they fighting? We brought it out last week. They fight. Putin said we're not fighting the Ukrainians. We're fighting their Western masters. They're tricking you. You feel me? That's why I say all this shit is smoke and mirrors, man. They're tricking you. Last week, Putin just said that we're not fighting Ukraine, we're fighting their Western masters. And this week it say 8 million Ukrainian refugees across Europe. 250,000 in America. Oh, man, stop it. So they got love. You feel me? They got love. Feel me? They definitely got love, just not for you. You know, like what the brothers say, ain't our Hispanic brothers and sisters trying to flee from persecution, from wars and cartels? Why are Mexicans not refugees but illegals? That's right, because they God's chosen people, and people just don't understand it. People just can't get it in their heads. Why is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians not getting the same help as the Russians, as the Ukrainians, as the Afghanistan, the Afghans? You hear me? Why is not? Because that's not our family, man. We not their family, man. So you could drop that. Let's go to Brazil allows 2 Iranian warships. Feel me? But this is their consequences for that, the mistreatment of blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians.
Brazil allows 2 Iranian warships to dock in Rio despite U.S. pressure.
Right, despite U.S. pressure, despite the U.S. wanting any type of military, anyway. Now you got now mind you, the U.S. got bases all over the damn planet, all over the planet. They got warships, but the Iranians trying to put one in Brazil, and Brazil allowed it, and America is pissed. I'm telling you, in the beginning of the Third World War, you in the beginning. When have you ever heard some shit like this happening? A warship that close to America? You ain't never heard that before.
Rio de Janeiro, February 27th. 2 Iranian warships docked in Rio de Janeiro on Sunday after Brazilian President Luiz Inácio.
Go ahead, give it a shot. That long ass name. It's a logic.
De Silva's government granted permission despite pressure from the United States to bother.
Mm-hmm. Now it's crazy because Iran said if America ever tried them, it's gonna be the mother of all wars. They was not playing. Think they was playing? Told y'all they wasn't playing. But you playing. You want to be friends and drinking buddies and smoking buddies and all that. The Lord is about to separate everybody.
The Iris McCran and the Iris Dana warships both arrived Sunday morning.
You ain't even know this happened. How many black people out there know? How many blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians know that it's 2 warships less than 200 miles away from Florida? Feel me? Now, let's get it right, because it might be a little more than that. Hey, Siri. How many miles away? Damn. That's a lot.
First, you have to tell me where you are. Go to
Hey, Siri.
Uh-huh.
How many miles away from Florida is Brazil?
I don't know where you are, but you can show me. Go to location service.
Shut the hell up. That's a lot. See why they always deal with Alexa. She a little more corroborative. She a little bit more.
Like I said, it's about 6,000 miles from Rio to Miami.
All right, yeah, 6,000 miles. I sure was like, that ain't giving me no info. They must know what's up. How the hell ain't nothing popping up? They know. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all ain't even know what's going on. There's all type of stuff going on. You ain't even know it. You feel me? But yeah, though, Brazil is what'd you say, 6,000 miles from Miami. 2 warships with nuclear weapons on them and fighter jets and all that. What do you think that's for? That's because the Lord wants a war. The Lord wants a nuclear war, man.
Reuters earlier this month reported that Brazil has bowed to U.S. pressure and declined Iran's request for the vessels to dock in Rio late January. In a gesture from Lula as he flew to Washington to meet President Joe Biden. However, with Lula's trip over, the ships have been allowed to dock.
For that okie doke. I'm telling you, man, these people is sick of America, man. They talking about we a hate group because we just telling y'all what's going on. You should have left black people the hell alone, man. You should have gave us what was owed to us, man. And now ain't nothing you could do about it. This world war is about to start, and a lot of people is gonna die. It's gonna be a lot of black people die. We know it. It's gonna be a lot of blacks, Hispanics die. But we know who's gonna be the bulk of the people die, and it's gonna be the people that oppressed us, man. So why try to be friends with them, man? Let what's supposed to happen happen. You feel me? Can't fight fate. How you gonna fight that? Can't fight the scriptures, man. The scriptures said this was gonna happen. The scriptures talk about the nuclear war, but you keep seeking brotherhood from them when they ain't even finna exist in a little bit. In a little while, it's not gonna be no more for them you to find. So you're gonna have to love your brother. That's why I say when Christ come back, it's gonna be a vesture dipped in blood. That's what the scriptures say. And a lot of that blood ain't gonna just be heathens on it.
Vice Admiral Carlos Eduardo Horta Arens, the deputy chief of Brazil's naval staff, gave his approval for the ships to dock in Rio between February 26th and March 4th, according to February 23rd notice in the official Gazette. The U.S. Embassy in Brasilia did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The Brazilian Navy authorizes a foreign vessel to dock in Brazil, but only after authorization from the Foreign Ministry, which takes into account the request embassy's petition and logistics.
Right.
The presence of the Iranian warships on Brazilian shores continues to irk the United States as it seeks to build closer ties with Lula's administration, which came into office January 1st. In a February 15 press conference, U.S. Ambassador Elizabeth Bagley urged Brazil not to allow the ships to dock. In the past, those ships facilitated illegal trade and terrorist activities and have also been sanctioned by the United States. Brazil is a sovereign nation, but we firmly believe those ships should not dock anywhere, she said.
But yeah, you could drop that. We just want to talk about it. They not playing with these people. Let's go to China. Let's see what happened with China.
China, building up its military presence in the South China Sea amid rising tensions with the U.S. During a high-stakes U.S. surveillance flight, NBC News' Janice Mackey-Frayer gets a rare chance to see China's military buildup just weeks after the U.S. shot down a Chinese spy balloon. A Chinese fighter jet came within 500 feet of the U.S. aircraft as tensions flare up between the two superpowers.
Tensions flaring up. Superpowers. Iran, China. Superpowers, man. Superpowers. U.S., Russia. Superpowers.
He says this encounter was professional, but that the PLA has been more aggressive.
Is it typical to have
Today's high-stakes surveillance flight takes off from the U.S. base in Okinawa.
window seats?
A rare chance to see China's military buildup here when tensions with the U.S. are flaring, just weeks after the U.S. shot down that Chinese balloon And with China growing bolder.
I've been in the Navy 18, 19 years now, and I can tell you that there's a dramatic change over that span, specifically in the South China Sea.
How?
The buildup of runways, hangars.
We fly through international airspace between the Philippines and Taiwan out toward the South China Sea, where the PLA, China's military, soon makes its presence known.
We're over the South China Sea, and that is a Chinese J-11 fighter, and he's flying right beside us.
You see both a pilot and then a weapon system officer.
These people you want to be friends with. I don't want no smoke with that. You see that? And they flying right next to the American plane, like, do something. That motherfucker probably do all type of loops and turns and all kind of stuff.
They're in the back. They're armed with some air-to-air weapons.
And these are happening more often.
Yes.
The Chinese jet shadowed from 500 feet off the wing for over an hour. The Navy says this encounter was professional, but that the PLA has been more aggressive.
Is it typical to have the sort of encounters that we saw today with PLA?
It is. An intercept on the wing it's a typical Friday for us.
The U.S. flies patrol aircraft like this on most days, equipped with powerful cameras and surveillance gear. What China considers an intrusion.
This is an up-close view of a Chinese warship in the water east of Taiwan. They've been calling on the radio warning this aircraft to keep its distance.
American aircraft not approaching anymore. Are you being full responsibility?
The buildup of...
I don't think the white lady knows what she's saying. She don't know that her whole race is about to be extinct.
Chinese control in the South China Sea is best seen here on artificial islands that over the years have been fortified and militarized. These recent images showing a runway.
The brother just said something. Have you think they playing? But name somebody in the hood that play like that. You know where your mama stay? Well, my mama, man, name somebody in the hood that play like that. You said they had two warships when you seen them. You said they had two warships when you seen them, right? Ain't nobody playing with you, Smokey. Hell no. We're always playing. We're always running up and down the hood playing.
And radar sight.
On this video, this white lady is playing. She don't even know this is serious.
What's been called China's aircraft carrier that can't sink. The U.S. and its allies are now ramping up defenses here, and China is making no secret of its plans to...
No, they ain't got to be secret because Russia is on board. Iran is on board. North Korea is on board. Why play now? They done playing. Ain't no point of playing so like. Hell no. Ain't no point of playing. Nah, shit. But yeah, though. So yeah, we could drop that. Let's go into the scriptures, man. Feel me? Going to the scriptures about these people y'all want brotherhood from. I don't know why. Why don't we stop the Bloods and the Crips from beefing? The Pyrus and the East Coast Crips, the GDs and the Vice Lord. Why don't we try that? What the hell? We want to stop the slave master from hating us for? Who gives a hell? He slaved us for 400 years. What the hell you want to be his friend for? But yeah, let's go to 2 Kings 8 and 19.
So like 8 and 19?
Yeah, we go out with the 21. Yeah, that was funny. He told me, ain't somebody in the hood to play like hell no. Hey, nobody play like that. He had two guns on him when you seen him, right?
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 8, verse 19. Yet the Lord would not destroy Judah for David, his servant's sake, as he promised him to give him always a light and to his children.
Right. The Most High loved King David. He was a man after his own heart. He went to wars to bring Israel together, even wars against Israel. You feel me? To bring us all together, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But his son had sex with heathen women, and his sons from heathen relationships became the kings over Israel, and they was wicked as hell. Northern kingdom split, did their own thing. Southern kingdom did their own thing. But the Lord was still with the tribe of Judah because of King David. But that's the Most High for you, because he did it with Moses. He wanted to kill all us with Moses. because we wanted to go back into Egypt. We wanted to go back into slavery. It's like some black people gonna want to go back into America. You know, the same thing. It's just happening all over again. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Verse 20. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah.
Right. So what you gotta understand, Edom, that's Esau. And Edom just means red. His name went from Esau to Edom. And you gotta understand that they revolted. So what you gotta understand, they was in the caves. You feel me? Esau, the so-called white man, was not this high and mighty person that you see today. He was at a very low state where he was under our thumb, under our foot. He didn't move unless we said he could move. You feel me? The same people that enslaved you for 400 years got you in slavery right now. Couldn't even move unless you said so. But because of we got weak, you feel me? They revolted.
And made a king over themselves.
They didn't even have a king. The so-called white man didn't even have a king. They were peasants, man. We was ruling. Because that was the prophecy. That's how it was supposed to go. But we also were supposed to keep the commandments. But we stopped keeping the commandments and Edom revolted.
Verse 21. So Joram went to Zaire and all the chariots with him.
Right. Now that's one of the kings that was over Southern Kingdom, one of Solomon's sons.
And he rose by night and smote the Edomites, which compassed him about.
Right. Now the people in the world say, I thought you ain't supposed to have a Edomite. Well, what this saying then? Is the Bible contradicting itself? No, it's not. You feel me? That's just talking about etiquette. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. But this, what was going on right here, is that Edom was stayed, you feel me, under us. They was never supposed to rise up. Because if they do rise up, they're going to do what they're doing right now. You feel me? So we kept a close eye on Edom, the Edomites, the so-called white people. We kept a close eye on them to make sure they was not coming up with no plans. They weren't doing nothing because we knew prophecy. You feel me? What Isaac said to Esau, how he was going to break the yoke of Jacob. You feel me? So we stayed and had a close eye on him. You feel me? He was in Mount Seir, which was in the Middle East. And we had a close eye on him, making sure he didn't come out them caves doing nothing. But now, the kingdom that split, this man that made a king over himself, and the Southern Kingdom went over there to kill the Edomites. You feel me?
And the captains of the chariots and the people fled into their tents.
Right, the people fled into their tents. You go all the way to 22.
Come, sir. Verse 22. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day.
Right, unto this day. All the way to right now, 2023. Edom, the so-called white man, has revolted. They're revolting. They're rebelling against black people. You feel me? All the way until this day. The same people you trying to seek brotherhood from is rebelling against you. And they have been all the way back in biblical times. You feel me? And the Lord let them do it because we stopped keeping the commandments. The kingdom got split. We got weak as a nation. And he let Edom rise up, man. He let them start revolting. They start getting courage. You feel me? When one time the so-called white man went there, look at you in your eyes. He put his face in a laughing barrel. You feel me? But then he rose up and made himself a king and everything. So you had something else?
Lies.
Yeah. So you could drop that. And let's go to Genesis 27 and 40. Yeah, we just talking about Esau, talking about his characteristics, talking about why he is the way he is. It's biblical. It's biblical why.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live.
Right, now this talking about Esau. This is what we was talking about with Isaac, because Esau was mad he didn't get the blessing being the firstborn son. And it was given to Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Esau was mad about it. So Isaac just, having a conversation with his son. He's telling him, by the sword thou shalt live, by killing, murdering. What's a modern day sword? A gun. The same way you throwing metal through the air with a sword, it's the same thing with a gun. You throwing metal through the air with a gun.
And shalt serve thy brother.
Right, and shall serve thy brother. Feel me? Esau, the so-called white man, is supposed to serve us. But guess what? He revolted. He's been rebelling ever since.
And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Right, that's what we just read in 2 Kings. Feel me? In 2 Kings, 8th chapter, he broke that yoke. And the so-called white man has been rebelling against black people ever since, man. And been living by the sword, killing us. He ain't killing Africans. You feel me? He ain't killing the Arabs, even though they bombed the Twin Towers. He ain't killing the Ukrainians. He killing us, man.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Right. How you expecting brotherhood from him? This is inside his DNA. Inside the so-called white man's DNA, he hates you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He hates you. Y'all thought hate wasn't in the Bible. Stop it. Kill yourself. Hate ain't in the Bible, you idiot. Hate is all through the Bible. And it always has something to do with the white man, which is Esau. And Esau, so-called white man, hated Jacob, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we were blessed. You feel me? We was blessed by the Most High. You feel me? The Most High blessed us. That's why he hates you. That's why he's killing you and not killing the Arabs. He's not racially profiling his own people. When we just read the article saying they doing all the murders. The white supremacists is doing all the murders. You feel me?
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand.
Right. So he said, I'm gonna chill right now.
Then I will slay my brother Jacob.
And that's what's happening. Esau is slaying his brother Jacob. Because they were brothers, but it was two nations of people in Rebecca's womb, and they got split up. And he's been slaying us. He's been killing us. You feel me? Since 2 Kings, man. Since 2 Kings, the 8th chapter, so-called white man has been killing us, man. Focusing on us specifically.
Verse 42. And these words of Esau.
No, you could drop that. Let's go to 2 Maccabees in the Apocrypha. Second Maccabees 6 and 5.
Come. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 5. The altar was also filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth.
Right, that's exactly what he do. You feel me? Christianity. Feel me? Islam. He's pushing that on you. Feel me? He'd rather you be a Muslim than an Israelite. Feel me? He'd rather you be a Moor, Egyptologist than an Israelite. He's pushing profane things on you. Once you say anything about you being a Jew, everything stops. Kanye West almost lost the Yeezy shoes, but of course they knew they needed them, so now they begging for them back. Kyrie Irving almost lost his contract in the NBA because he said something about the Jews, but they ain't saying nothing about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They ain't saying nothing about him.
Verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts.
Mm-hmm.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Right, man. It was illegal. You feel me? It was illegal to profess himself to be a Jew, just like it's illegal right now. The Constitution say you got freedom of religion. But you say you a Jew, man, everything, you losing everything. You feel me? Especially if you got a platform and you rich. Now, poor people, maybe not so much. But if you rich and you can really get it out there to people, Man, you losing everything, man. Like real talk. They want you to push you profane things on you, man. They don't even want to let you be who you are, who you was born to be, which is a Jew. It was illegal back then. It's illegal now, and you can't say it's not illegal. Because if it ain't illegal, why the hell is everybody losing all these $1 million deals for saying it? Shit, Nick Cannon almost lost Wild 'N Out because he said the same thing. He wearing turbans and shit. I don't know what the fuck he wearing turbans for. We don't wear turbans, you feel me? We wear mitris, but you know, he in the world, he not in the truth all the way. But he knows something about us being Israelites, and it's illegal right now. You feel me? And you seeking brotherhood from a nation that's not your brother, because they won't even let you be who you was born to be. Esau knew we was Israelites back then. You feel me? He know we Israelites now. But now he's making it illegal. Because if he makes it illegal, then that helps out his agenda, which is to further oppress black people. So you can drop that. Let's go to Leviticus 19 and 18.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right. This Moses saying that. The children of thy people is talking about the Israelites. Come on, man. We trying to get up out of Egypt. We coming out of Egypt, man. You feel me? He giving us the law that the Most High want us to keep. And one of the laws is to not avenge. You feel me? Not avenge, something happened to you with a brother. You don't take it in your own hands and go hurt him. You feel me? Because first of all, vengeance is of the Most High. You feel me? He gonna repay it anyway. You feel me? So like, yeah, you don't go do it on another brother yourself. And it say, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, having grudges for something that's happened. You supposed to go squash that stuff. You feel me?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right. He's telling you about a neighbor. Who is he talking to? He's talking to the children of Israel. He's not talking about white people. He's not talking about the Egyptians. He's not talking about nobody else but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is who this was written to, the Israelites. You feel me? But the Christians have destroyed the doctrine of the Most High in Christ, and they got you thinking your neighbor is talking about every person that bleed red. They think everybody that bleed red is your neighbor, when Moses was only talking, because neighbor and brother is the same word. You feel me? It's the same thing. And that's what he was talking about. He was talking about your brother, man. When he say bear no grudge, you telling me you're not supposed to have a grudge against somebody that hung all your ancestors on trees? That's not what this is talking about, man. He's not telling them to forgive the Egyptians for everything they done. They destroyed in the Red Sea. You feel me? He was talking about building a nation with each other, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But you seeking brotherhood from the wrong people because the Christian church have destroyed the doctrine of the Most High in Christ. And in your head, all you think when you hear a neighbor, you thinking about forgiving a white person for slavery, which is the dumbest thing. You feel me? The dumbest thing, because they ain't forgave Hitler for what he did to the Jewish people. You feel me? They ain't forgive Osama bin Laden for what he did, but they just want the slaves to always forgive and forget. We always got to forgive and forget. Yeah, go ahead.
If I may, sir, what you bringing out is so heavy. If I may, they're still locking up Nazis today in Europe.
Man, most of crap, that's heavy. Yeah, they finding them in South America and all type of different places. Yeah, they got a whole TV show about it. And now the TV show it's just a TV show, but that's the basis of the TV show. I think what's the nigga that played Scarface? I think Al Pacino, the lead character. And they just a bunch of people going around catching old Nazis. You feel me? They had something to do with the damn Holocaust, Nazi generals and stuff.
They're locking up young ones, so you can't even talk on the Holocaust in certain European countries. They'll lock you up for it.
Damn, and that's crazy. You feel me? That's because they love their brothers, man. They love their neighbors. They neighbors for real. They was all together in the Caucasus Mountains eating out of skulls. You feel me? They love their people, but we love everybody else. You feel me? We had neighbor, we think about the East Indians. I don't know why. Why when you hit neighbor, you don't think about a Blood or a Crip, the GDs and the Vice Lords, the MS-13s and the Latin Kings? How do you think about white people? I just don't get it, man. But that's that Christianity that's burnt inside your brain.
Verse 19.
Oh, no, that's good on that. Let's go to in Apocrypha Ecclesiasticus 13 and 15.
Come. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 15. Every beast loveth his like.
Mm-hmm. Now every beast loveth his like. You see the lions with the lions, hyenas with the hyenas. You see the pigeons with the pigeons, the eagles with the eagles. Every beast loveth his like.
And every man loveth his neighbor.
Right. And that's what this is doing. This is comparing us to the animal kingdom. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. White people love white people. They like what the brother say. Hold on, wait. He say America went to a 20-year war when Arabs flew the plane. They did, because they love their people. You feel me? They went into a war trying to catch Osama bin Laden for what he did. You feel me? And they always say 9/11, never forget. Every time 9/11 come around, they say never forget. You feel me? Because every man loveth his neighbor. That's talking about your brother. Neighbor and brother is the same word. That is not talking about anybody that bleeds red. You feel me? Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. You feel me? This is black people supposed to take on this same thing. We did before integration. Integration destroyed all this. Real talk. We're going all the way to 16.
Come. Verse 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the man will cleave it to his like.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is comparing us to the animal kingdom. The same way the hippos with the hippos, the gators with the gators and the crocodiles don't mix. Now, you think you could tell the difference from an alligator and a crocodile by the nose? Alligators got the little slim nose. The crocodiles got the wide one. They don't even mix with each other, man. But black people want to mix with every other race, man. That's because we the only ones with a God. If you ever wonder why that's happening, why do blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians always be the ones want to join and mix? It's because we got a real God and they don't. They follow themselves and get no repercussions. You know, I mean, well, all these kingdoms fall, but you get what I mean. They get a little 200-300 year run of doing whatever they want and with no repercussions. Black people, we do just the smallest thing and we going to jail. We going broke, we going in poverty, this or that or this, getting killed, all type of stuff. Because they don't have a God they got to serve. We do. We got a father that we got to listen to, and we ain't been listening to him. You feel me? And a man will cleave to his light. Neighbor and brother is the same thing, man. You seeking brotherhood from a people that don't even love you. Don't care nothing about you at all. You feel me? So you could drop that. Let's go to Mark 12 and 30.
Come, sir. The book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Right. Yeah, that's what definitely supposed to do. But loving the God is keeping the commandments. You feel me? That's the thing. Loving the Most High is keeping the commandment. Not just saying you love him. Love is an action. Just like hate is an action. All that stuff is action. That ain't just saying it. You saying it ain't hate. You saying it ain't love. It's the action that you do.
And with all thy soul, and with all that mind.
Right, all that mind. That's just having the same spirit as the Most High.
And with all that strength.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first commandment.
That's the first commandment. Is to love the Lord thy God, man. Feel me? Because he's your father. You got to listen to what he say. You go ahead.
Verse 31. And the second is like, namely this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Now, we already brought out and proved to you in Leviticus and Ecclesiasticus that neighbor is talking about your brother. Talking about somebody that looks like you, been through the same thing as you, same bloodline, same race. You feel me? Neighbor, brother, race, all that's the same thing. Love thy neighbor as thyself. You feel me? That's the second commandment. How can you love a so-called white man like yourself? You haven't enslaved the whole race of people. You haven't killed 77 million people to get their land. You haven't raped, robbed, and murdered since you've been on this earth. How can you compare yourself? That's just like comparing a rapist to a righteous man. You can't do that, man. How you gonna love a rapist the same way you love that? And that's where the Christians get everything confused. You feel me? That's why the rapists go free. The child molesters go free. You feel me? Because you loving a rapist as yourself, a murderer as yourself. You can't love a righteous person and a wicked person the same way. You feel me? That you just can't do it. Otherwise, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have 2 million black people in jail, and you don't even know why. You don't even see it happening. You're going about your life not even noticing it. You feel me? Police is only killing black people, and you wondering like, what the hell? You feel me? You ain't even noticing it. How many white Breonna Taylors you know? Name me one white Breonna Taylor. You can't. Name me one white George Floyd. You can't do it, man. Feel me? Thou shalt love thy neighbor. That's talking about your brother. Neighbor means brother. A black man. Hispanic, Native Indian man. That's who it's talking about. It's not talking about, this is Christ teaching brotherhood. Because without brotherhood, everything else is going to fall apart, man.
There is none other commandment greater than these.
Nope. Ain't no other commandment greater than that. It ain't none. Because without these two, everything else falls apart. If you're not loving the Most High, if you're not loving your brother the same way you would want him to love you, everything else gonna fall apart. You feel me? Everything gonna fall apart. If we could drop that, let's go to Acts 18:1.
Come. The book of Acts, chapter 18, verse 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth.
Right. Now, Athens, that's in Greece. Because what you got to understand, we just read it in the Maccabees. We feel they had us in captivity and oppression. And a lot of us became Greeks. Just like right now, we Americans. We Spain. I think Kobe from Spain. You feel me? Kobe Bryant. I think he was born in Spain. You feel me? 21 Savage. He was born in Britain. You feel me? Like, that's just to name a few about how black people that's born, from a place where they're not commonly from, but they still black people. And that's what Paul was doing in Athens, in Greece, talking to black people in there. Because the Bible just said, go to your neighbor, go to your brother. You feel me? Love your brother like you supposed to love yourself.
Verse 2.
We're going all the way to 6.
Verse 2. And found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy.
In Italy. You got Jews in Italy. You feel me? Paul had a gift. You feel me? He had a gift for going to Israelites that was expelled from Jerusalem because of whatever their families did in the past. So now they're living in Athens, Greece. They living in Italy. You feel me? All that, man.
With his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome.
All Jews depart from Rome. Claudius had demanded all Jews depart from Rome. And then they talking about what is his name? I can't think of the name of the it's in Acts the 10th chapter about the general that was in the army. Cornelius. They thought Cornelius was a Roman. Like, y'all don't know. Do y'all even read the Bible? I don't even think y'all read the Bible. I didn't grow up in Christianity, so I ain't blinded with it like I guess everybody else is, in the world, Christians and stuff. Because when I read it, I don't think how y'all think about it. I think like how the ISUPK taught me to think. And just to read it and see it for yourself, it's gonna break down itself. You feel me? And Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome.
And came unto them.
And that's what Paul did. He went unto them. Because he had a knack. He had a gift for that. Christ said that. You feel me? He wanted him to go to the Gentiles. That's what when he had on his road to Damascus, you feel me? Ananias and them wasn't really feeling Paul because he was a Pharisee. You feel me? He was a Pharisee that used to kill the prophet. They hunted him down, locked him up. But Christ knew he had, he would be good for the truth, basically. If he just found the truth and realized that Christ was the Messiah and everything Christ did was right, you feel me? He knew that Paul would actually be a pillar in pushing this truth, which he was, because he wrote most of the books in the New Testament.
Verse 3. And because he was of the same craft, and abode with them, and wrought, for by the occupation they were tent makers. Verse 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath, and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
The Jews and the Greeks. You feel me? Why don't they say the Jews and Africans? The Jews and everybody. The Jews and the Chinese. The Jews and Australians. They say the Jews and the Greeks because that's what we were. We just came out of the Greek captivity. The Romans is a byproduct of the Greek captivity. It's one of Alexander the Great generals. He started Rome. One of them was in Egypt, Rome. One of them stayed in Greece. I forgot what the other one went. I ain't gonna even lie. But it was 4 generals. I can't remember what the other one went. I want to say Asia, but I don't know for sure. But I know for sure one of them stayed in Greece, one of them went to Rome, and one of them went to Egypt. Feel me? And that's why I say the Jews and the Greeks, because we just came out of the Greek captivity, and of course the Jews, the ones that stayed in Jerusalem, never left, never ran, never will, like Magiana. You feel me?
Verse 5. And when Silas and Timotheus were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit and testified to the Jews that Yahushua was Christ.
He was the Messiah, because they didn't believe it. They hated Christ. They didn't believe he was the Messiah, but he was. And Paul knew it on his road to Damascus, how Christ came to him. You feel me? And asked him, why do you persecute me? You feel me? Why do you kick against the pricks? That's his exact words he said to Paul. You feel me? He blinded Paul, sent him to the priests, and they taught him. They taught him, man. And he realized that, damn, I was wrong. And now he out teaching the truth.
Verse 6. And when they opposed themselves and blasphemed, he shook his raiment and said unto them, your blood be upon your own hands. I am clean.
Right. He went to the Jews, you feel me? They knew they were Jews. They knew, like, we Israelites, they had been in Jerusalem, this and that. And you say, man, that's not our king. You feel me? Because they thinking about the Old Testament, about, one God, all that stuff. So they thinking, like, who is this other guy that's coming, talking about he the king and he this and that. So they didn't want to serve Christ. You feel me? They didn't want to serve Christ. Even though the Old Testament prophesied about him, they didn't want to serve Christ. Just like right now, they don't want to serve Christ. We go out and tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians all the damn time that they the children of God, and that's the reason why everything is happening to them, and they blaspheme us and say we not right for letting white people kiss our boots, and we not right for saying they going into slavery. What the fuck type of shit is that? How the hell we not right for saying that the so-called white man is going into slavery when we just got out of slavery, not even 200 some years ago? And we saying, they saying we wrong. Black people saying that we wrong for saying that. And he said, let the blood be on your own head. So basically, whatever happens to you, that's on you. Whatever happens to you, that's on you. Yeah, go ahead.
If I may, so what you bringing out is so heavy. We're trying to argue from Esau just coming out of slavery, and they're doing the same thing right now.
Right. Same thing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing. It happened in Rome. It happened in Greece. It happened in Assyria. It happened in Babylon. And that's what the Bible about. It's our history, our records. You feel me? That's our history book. It's talking about all the stuff we've been through. You feel me?
From henceforth, I will go on to the Gentiles.
Right. So I'm going to go to the Gentiles. I'm going to go find brothers and sisters that's Israelites. They've been living like Greeks, living like Romans. You feel me? Living like the Asians. I'm gonna go find brothers and sisters that's living like heathens, and I'm gonna tell them to stop. I'm gonna tell them that they God's people. You feel me? Christ is the Messiah, and they need to come back to the laws and commandments. That's what I'm gonna do. Because the Jews don't even want to listen. You feel me? Just like they didn't want to listen back then. That's how we lost the kingdom. So yeah, we can drop that. And let's go to First Ezra 8 and 84. Yeah, I just want to bring that out to show people that the Gentiles was not talking about white people. I know, because that's all y'all think. When y'all had Jew and Greek, you think of white people. You ain't thinking about, well, what about the Africans? What about the Spaniards and stuff like that? That don't even cross your mind because you so indoctrinated with Christianity. All you think about is how to save your slave master. But let's go to First Ezra 8 and 84.
Come, sir. The book of First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 84. Therefore, now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it start. That's how it start. You feel me? It start with you marrying heathen women, like Solomon did. That's how it start. You want to join with them, like Samson. He wanted the Philistine woman. You feel me? So he cut his hair and was destroyed for it.
Neither shall you take their daughters unto your sons.
Mm-hmm. Nope, no interracial dating. Interracial dating brought the flood, brought the splitting the kingdom. Don't do it. We know you love your slave masters, but the Most High says you have to separate. No joining with them.
Verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Most High say you should never seek to have peace with them. Why are you seeking brotherhood from people that's not your brother? The Most High say you should never seek to have peace with them. Why do you want to have peace with them? We just read in 2 Kings, the 8th chapter, we found out they was rising up and made a king, and we went and killed them. I ain't telling you to go do that now, but I'm just saying that's what happened back when we had the kingdom. We heard Esau was rising up, and we went and slew him because we know once Esau rise up, you feel me? He's like a virus. You feel me? He gonna sweep through, destroying everything, man. The plants, the water, the animals gonna go extinct, all kind of stuff.
That ye may be strong.
That ye may be strong. If you seeking to have peace with Esau, the so-called white man, you ain't gonna be strong. Integration made us weak. We lost all our businesses because of integration, because we seek to have peace with Esau. Instead of staying separate, we wanted to have peace with Esau, the so-called white man, and now we have no businesses. We spent $1.3 trillion a year and only own 0.01% of the businesses in America. That is blasphemy. That is evil, man. That goes against the Bible right there. That whole plan, man. That's slavery. Always having to work. You always gonna have to work for somebody. If you spend at $1.3 trillion but don't own no businesses, man.
And eat the good things of the land.
Nope, we can't eat the good things. You feel me? We starving. We hungry. We hungry, man. Because we wanted to have peace with Esau. Having peace with Esau, now we're hungry. Now we're not strong.
And that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children evermore.
Nope. Can't leave none to the children because we wanted peace with Esau. Because we wanted peace with Esau, the so-called white man, we not strong. We not eating the good things of the land. You feel me? And we have no inheritance to give to our children. Because we just want to be his friend so bad. We just want him to like us. Why the fuck do it matter? The Chinese man is at war with him. Did we not just read the article about China ramping up their military? But it's a Chinatown in every major city. And they don't join. They don't want peace. And they strong. And they eat the good things of the land. Which is you. They got businesses and all your... Man, come on, stop. This shit getting out of hand. That's all I'm gonna say. This shit getting out of hand. So yeah, we dropped that. Let's go to Job 27 and 14.
Come. The book of Job, chapter 27, verse 14. If his children be multiplied.
Now, Job said the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. You feel me? The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And they say if his children be multiplied.
It is for the sword.
It is for the sword. It is for murder. It's not for him to be your friend. You feel me? You want to go to a white school and be their friend? You see all the white kids running around. You're like, yeah, hey, Billy. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bryce. What's going on? Guess what? All them children you see was multiplied for the sword. Just like the Egyptians. They was multiplied for the sword. Just like the Assyrians. They was multiplied for the sword, man. Just like Babylon. Them Africans, they was multiplied for the sword. Not to be your friend, man. The Lord left these nations around us so we may know war. Judges the 14th chapter say, if I ain't mistaken. He left them around us so we can know war, not to be their friend. Because if you seek peace with them, you ain't going to be strong. You ain't going to leave no inheritance to your children. They're going to suck you dry. You feel me? Take all your money. Go ahead.
And his offspring should not be satisfied with bread.
Because that's all this is about. What you got to understand is reincarnation is real. You come back through your children. You're not going to die and go sit with God on the clouds shooting dice. You're not going to die and going to be fucking playing spades with Christ and the angels, man. When you die, you're going to come back through your children and you got to try it again. You feel me? You got to, what Aaliyah say, you're going to have to dust yourself off and try it again. You feel me? That's exactly what's going to happen when you die. And that's why they keep talking about your offspring. Your offspring, because this you. That's you all over again. You coming back through your children, your grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren. That's you. And that's why I say his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. So you here on earth right now, you didn't make a way for your offspring to be satisfied with bread. You feel me? You didn't make a way. Because you're so busy seeking peace from Esau. Ain't nobody else trying to seek peace. They sending warships over here. You feel me? They sending warships. They ain't playing with Esau. We the only ones playing with Esau. Like what the brother say, you think he playing with you? You think he playing? You run up and down the street all day playing. Say he had a gun on him, you seen him, right? Man, that nigga ain't gonna do nothing. It's a lot. That's black people. That nigga ain't gonna do nothing. So yeah, let's go to Proverbs 11 and 21.
Come.
Oh yeah, that's true. If we stop spending money with America, it'll crash overnight. Shit, fuck just stop spending money. If we stop going to jail, this country will fold off that. That's modern day slavery. If black people just stop going to jail. Women, men, all of us, blacks, Hispanics, this whole country will cripple. That's why it's more. Didn't we do that in class like a couple weeks ago? There's more people in prison in America than it is everywhere else altogether. It's more men and women, like, forget the race. Let's just say, period. It's more men and women in prison in America than it is in every other country combined. Like, real talk. Because I'm telling you, that's the way they stay rich with that free labor. You go ahead whenever you got it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. Though join hand in hand, the wicked should not be unpunished.
So you want to be the white man's friend. You want to forgive him for slavery. It was in the past. You want that. You don't want reparations. I done heard black people say that. I don't want reparations. You feel me? Because I wasn't there. Well, this is what the Bible say about all you Uncle Tom Coons that think the white man is so good all of a sudden. That he's still not systematically oppressing you because you don't have a chain wrapped around your goddamn neck. That's because it's wrapped around your mind, and we call it Christianity. We call it Islam. Feel me? We call it Democrats and Republicans, voting, civil rights, whatever you want to call it, man.
Though join hand in hand, the wicked should not go unpunished.
Not going unpunished. Regardless of how many of you want to be Esau's friend, who revolted against you since 2 Kings, who's been murdering you since Genesis, the wicked shall not go unpunished, man.
But the seed of righteousness, the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
The seed of the righteous shall be delivered. You know who the righteous is? The sons and daughters of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because the Most High loved them. The Most High loved Abraham. He called him the friend of God. He loved Isaac. You feel me? Isaac was supposed to be slaughtered. You feel me? For a sacrifice. And the Lord sent the angel to tell Abraham no. And he saved him. You feel me? And he loved Jacob, man. Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Verse 22.
No, you can drop it right there. Somebody. But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. That's more important than anything. You feel me? That's more important than anything. Brother say Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. That's the gist of this whole motherfucking class. Like I think that's the one about the nation from far. Oh no, that ain't that one. But yeah, it's the one in Genesis 28 about a nation from far gonna come get you. But yeah, the brother was talking about Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It say, thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, which is true. We out of Egypt. Egypt is over with. But guess what we've been doing since Egypt? Serving enemies and hunger. Got to go to them for food and thirst. Got to go to them for water and in nakedness. Got to go to them for clothes and in one of all things. You feel me? And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. That's true. And now a yoke of iron is now wrapped around our brain with Christianity and a white man's philosophy, man. Like real talk. So yeah, let's go to the last scripture, Revelations 21:10.
Come on, sir. The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's John the Revelator. He was locked up on a Greek island. I think it was called Patmos. And he had a bunch of visions, dreams, you feel me, about future, past, all type of stuff. You feel me? And he wrote that stuff down wherever he could. And he did it in metaphors, like Christ said to do, speaking parables, because if he did say it exactly how he wanted to, they would have probably destroyed it and we would have never got it. But us being black, we know metaphors better than anybody. You feel me?
And show me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God.
Yeah, man, he's seeing how it's gonna be in the future, man. In the future, you feel me? When we get back into our homeland, they made a movie called Black Panther. Then they made a number 2 called Wakanda Forever, and that stuff is biblical because when we get the kingdom, our land is gonna be like Wakanda. It's gonna be a mystery. They're gonna wonder how in this area is they so rich. How do they got everything? It's gonna be like the Jetsons. You feel me? It's gonna be like any futuristic thing you could think of when we get the kingdom, because they won't leave us alone. We sent the rockets to the moon. We came up with the internet. We came up with the telephone. We came up with everything that makes America what it is. So imagine if we was in our own land by ourselves. And that's what people don't understand about that movie Black Panther. You feel me? That's what they don't understand about that. They don't understand that was talking about how if black people was left alone, of course they use Africans because they got to demonize us. They can't make it us. They got to make us the criminal like they did with Killmonger. He was from Oakland. And he like, oh, y'all need to use these weapons to free us. And they like, hell no, we this is for us. But in reality, when black people, we get the kingdom, everybody around the world gonna worship us because they gonna come to Jerusalem and they gonna see like, damn, they is the God's chosen people. Look at this shit. Look at this is like heaven, like what he's saying. It's like how he's saying it, descending on the cloud. But yeah, go ahead.
Verse 11, having the glory of God.
Right, that's what they're going to see. When the heathens come, not saying they're going to be welcome, but if they ever have to come for any reason, or if they see it on the news or on any pictures, they're going to be like, damn, that's the glory of God. And I just want to sidebar right quick. A lot of Israel is not just that little small section that you see on a map today. Israel is the whole Middle East. While all these Arabs is getting rich off finding oil fields in their backyard and diamonds and all that, that's our stuff. That stuff belongs to us. But they got it right now, and it's cool. We'll get it in, we ain't worried about it, man. We're going all the way to 12.
Come. Having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone, most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal.
Right, clear as crystal. Like think about you going to a city and you see everything that's just look like it's made out of crystals, like it's made out of diamonds. You see a building look like it's made out of diamonds. Man, that shit'll drive you crazy. Like what the hell? I'm paying for a diamond ring. They got diamond houses. They got diamond skyscrapers and diamond everything. Like, come on, man, stop it.
Verse clear as crystal. Verse 12. And had a wall great and high.
Ain't no getting in our land. You feel me? That what's that thing they got? If somebody try to cross over, they send a bunch of missiles up, or somebody send a missile, they send a bunch of missiles up, they kill it. I can't think of the name of it, but we're gonna have something greater than that. You feel me? Like that stuff when talking about with Black Panther, how they got the little dome where you can't even enter. I'm telling you, man, wait till we get the kingdom. Y'all don't understand. If they just leave black people alone, the stuff we can come up with, man, I'm telling you, the world part think is like a mystery.
And had 12 gates.
12 gates. But look, and it's the New Testament. They say the New Testament is changing the law. It means God love everybody. You can be a spiritual Israelite, but in our kingdom, John the Revelator seen 12 gates. You know why? For each 12 tribes of Israel. You go ahead.
And at the gates, 12 angels.
Right. It's an angel, just like right now, it's an angel over every school. It's an angel right now over Kentucky. They report to the Most High for the stuff we doing, for the stuff the angel sees is going on in Kentucky. And it's gonna be an angel over every gate.
And the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
I thought the Africans could be saved. I thought the white people could be saved. Nor Jew nor Greek. Nah, you was misled, man. And you done found the home of the truth. This is in the New Testament, which are the names of the 12 tribes. Not everybody on earth, the 12 tribes. Because that's your brother. That's your partner now. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, that's your brothers. The 12 tribes. You want to, come on, man. You want to be friends with every, you want to, man, look. Want to be friends with everybody for what? For what? They don't do nothing but disrespect you and try to hurt you. Black people is oppressed. If you ever got hurt by a Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, that's because we oppressed. We all oppressed. You feel me? Straight like that. But yeah, man, get to the Passover. April 1st. Get to the Passover, man. Let's serve our God. You feel me? Let's have fun. Because the kingdom is coming, man. I'm in the class. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Rakatham, Yahweh Shema Adam Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah.